everyone, I am Osima Biswal. Today I will discuss about nationalization of banks. In this class I will discuss about arguments for nationalization and argument against nationalization. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel Economic Tech. Okay, the progressive of nationalization of banks has increased the role of public sector banking in the country. On July 19, 1969, the Government of India through an ordinance nationalized 14 major commercial banks in the country. Okay. Again, on April 15, 1980, 6 more commercial banks now nationalized. The State Bank of India and its 7 subsidiaries had already been nationalized. The regional rural banks from the very inception are in the public sector. Thus, about 90% of the country's commercial banking system is now in public sector. Okay. Now, I will discuss about arguments for nationalization. Whether nationalization of banks is desirable or not is a debatable question. The case for bank nationalization in India is mainly based on the defective ownership, biased credit, deployment policy and unhealthy practices of banks in the pre-nationalized period. The main arguments in favor of banks nationalization in the country are given below. First, ownership and control of a few. Okay. Indian banks are owned and controlled by a few big shareholders. They generally influence the pattern of allocation of bank credit in accordance with their own interest. The nationalization of banks would bring banks under the control of the government for meeting the general interest of the public. Okay. Second, concentration of wealth and power. The banks in India were controlled by a few industrial houses which used the public funds of the bank to build up huge industrial estates. Okay. This led to the growth of wealth and power in a few hands. Third, credit to directors. The resources of the banks were made available to the directors of the banks at concessional rates. The directors also had connection with their business concern. In this way, the funds of the banks were not utilized for the economic development of the country, but for the promotion of the interest of the directors. Bank nationalization would check favorable attitude of the banks towards directors for speculative activities. Okay. Previously, the funds of the banks were mostly used for hoarding and speculative purposes. Antisocial elements were able to receive the bank loans to make large profits by creating artificial shortages of essential goods. Such misuse of bank resources would be controlled by the nationalization of banks. 5. Discrimination against small business. Discrimination against small business. Indian banks had adopted a general policy of providing finance to large industries. Small business were not able to approach these banks for meeting their credit needs and were usually discriminated against. Nationalization was favored in order to extend financial help to the small business units. Okay. 6. Indifference to agricultural sectors. The agricultural sector was almost ignored by the commercial banks. Most of the banks and their branches existed in urban areas and were catering the needs of the industry and trade. Little effort were made by the banks to meet the credit requirements of agriculture, which is the backbone of Indian economy. Nationalization of banks was thought to contribute to the development of agriculture. 7. Financing economic plans. It was argued that the nationalization of banks would make their resources available to the government for financing economic plans of the country. In this way, the banks contribute to the development of the economy. 8. depositors. Okay, nationalization will provide 100% safety to the deposits of the people. This will inquire public confidence in the banking system and thus increase the bank deposits. Other arguments for nationalization. Some other arguments given in favor of nationalization of bank are as follows. A. Nationalization eliminate wasteful competition and adjust the efficiency of the working of the banks. B. Integrated monetary policy and its effective implementation require unified control of both the central and the commercial banks. The nationalization of banks is necessary for achieving socialism. Nationalization of banks is not possible without bank nationalization. Okay. Now I will discuss about arguments against nationalization. Those who oppose nationalization of banks give the following arguments. Reduction in efficiency. First, reduction in efficiency. The experience of other nationalization institutions indicates that the nationalization of the commercial banks will reduce the efficiency of these banks. Moreover, political interference will also impair the smooth working of these institutions. Second, no control on monopolies. The root cause of the growth of monopolies and concentration of wealth and power lies in the existing economic system. Therefore, the remedy requires the changing and reforming of the economic system and not the nationalization of banks. Third, other ways to remove malpractices. Malpractice of privately owned banks can be checked by adopting appropriate monetary and fiscal policies and through efficient supervision by the Reserve Bank of India. There is no need to take such drastic steps of banks, nationalization of banks. Okay, for risky lending to agriculturists. Extending loans to agriculture and small-scale industries is risky and less remunerative. Such loans are against the sound banking rules and may weaken the economic viability of this institution. 5. No need of security to deposits. It is pointed out that there is no need to provide 100% security to the depositors in India through nationalization of banks. Institutions like Indian Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation are functioning quite efficiently and providing enough relief to the depositors. 6. Burden of compensation. Nationalization involves huge amount of money to be paid as compensation to the shareholders. This puts additional financial burden on the government. Moreover, it is also argued that nationalization will not bring much revenue to the state. 7. Nationalization is no socialism. It is argued that nationalization may not lead to socialism. State capitalism is not socialism. Moreover, there is a general tendency to treat public property not as national property but as no one's property. As such, it is misused and destroyed like anything. In next class, I will discuss about objectives of bank nationalization in India. Okay, thanks for watching.